4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. It's Monday, back on the grind. If we have a look at what's going on today in the markets, honestly, nothing. It's a really boring day. Bitcoin 0.86%, Ethereum up 0.1%, Bitcoin Cash down 0.4%. As you can see, there's really not anything happening, although the thing that I do like to do is if I switch to the Bitcoin comparative, you will see that there actually is more green in comparison to USD, so that's pretty good. Also, if we look at the biggest gainers of the day, we have Holochain up 23%, MOAC, Zcash, Zencash, ODEM, Papex, Aurora, Polymath, and of course Ethereum Classic, as we've been anticipating the Coinbase listing. So one of the biggest questions of the day is, what is going on? Why are we having all this good news, but yet there's really nothing being reflected as far as the market is concerned? So as you can see, crypto markets stay bearish despite NYSE's big news. Well, this came out as well. So you have Starbucks saying, sorry, your Bitcoin is still no good here. So no, that wasn't a FUD title, okay? They actually have gone out and said this, but I want to kind of dive into this a little bit more and elaborate on what exactly is going on and why we shouldn't just get concerned immediately, right? So they say, it is important to clarify that we are not accepting digital assets at Starbucks. Rather, the exchange will convert digital assets like Bitcoin into US dollars, which can be used at Starbucks. A Starbucks spokesperson wrote in an email, at the current time we are announcing the launch of trading and conversion of Bitcoin. However, we will continue to talk with customers and regulators as the space evolves. Customers will not be able to pay for frappuccinos with Bitcoin. So, why is this not a problem? Guys, this is exactly how paying for things in the real world is. Unless you're actually physically paying somebody with dollars, actual cash, this is exactly what you're doing. What do you think a debit card is or a credit card is? There's even people that have gold cards. They actually have, debit cards linked to their gold accounts and they can spend it and it gets deducted from their holdings of gold. When you use your debit card, you're not going to your actual physical bank, cashing out dollars and giving it to them. Essentially, MasterCard or Visa or whoever you're using is essentially kind of like covering you, like, don't worry, we checked it out, the money's in the account, we're going to cover the transition for right now, and then eventually we're going to deduct the money from that person's bank account. So this news isn't really FUD or anything, it's just the facts. Like, Starbucks is not going to be physically actually accepting Bitcoin because, let's be real, if we were actually sending Bitcoin to the, people at Starbucks, you would have a line out the door, because you'd be waiting how many minutes to get your Bitcoin transactions confirmed, right? So it's really not that big of a deal, guys. It's no different than anything else. Essentially, they're just going to have a company like Bakkt, for example. So they are just going to be the layer on top. I'm sure they're going to take a percentage. So it's essentially a more centralized version of the Lightning Network, if you want to call it that, right? So then here's the other thing, guys. Everyone's saying, well, this is actually one day ago, this article. But it says, what has caused the Bitcoin price to drop below $7,000 in the past 48 hours? And I think the key paragraph here is over-the-counter sell-off. It says, according to the Tabs Group report, the over-the-counter market of Bitcoin is incomparably larger than its exchange market by at least 2 to 3-fold. Hence, if the cryptocurrency exchange market only accounts for 25% of the global market's liquidity or volume, it is more likely that large-scale retail traders in the OTC market are manipulating the price of Bitcoin rather than individual investors in the public exchange market. So when you guys are looking at the chart and you see these boom spikes that go up or spikes that go down, those are people, well, most likely the ones that go down essentially would be the OTC sell-offs, right? So these people are getting massive amounts of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies at a completely flat rate. They're not putting it into the order book. There's being no reflection of this as far as, volume or exchange is data is concerned, right? So this is an issue. So the truth is you are seeing so much of this actually happen in the background. And when you talk about moving forward, decentralizing everything, getting cryptocurrency out to the masses. I had this article pulled up. Now, this is actually from Chris C. from CardStack, which I found quite interesting because I didn't even know until I got halfway through that that was who was writing the article. So I had some things highlighted here, but my highlighter tool for some reason isn't working today, which I don't know why. But the thing that he goes to explain is that, you know, jumping 100% into decentralization, it's almost this kind of, you're putting the horse blinders on, essentially. You know what I'm saying? You're not being realistic. You can't expect the world to just instantly jump into this decentralized world. First of all, it's way too slow. A lot of the applications do not do justice for what we actually require. We need fast speed. We need things to be cheap. And unfortunately, when networks are getting clogged, fees are going through the roof, confirmation times are taking forever, these aren't going to work in the real world. He says that the all or nothing approach that many blockchain enthusiasts promote will only take us so far in terms of breaking into the mainstream. It is imperative that we focus on user experience in this moment, because if we don't, without an influx of real users, there will simply not be enough economic activity to justify the valuation, investment, or excitement around decentralized technology. The reality is the next era of the internet will be decentralized gradually, and as technologists, we need to build for that reality, which is exactly what CardStack is doing. You know, they're trying to create that experience layer and get rid of all the mumbo jumbo in the middle, you know, getting somebody to set up a Coinbase account, buy their first Bitcoin, transfer that Bitcoin to an exchange, then trade that Bitcoin for an altcoin, then hold that altcoin in its own particular wallet. Then if the markets go down, how can you hedge? Do you know how to get into Tether? It's way too complicated, right? And the other thing too is when you talk about this, you look at these things. This just came out. This is just a regular article on CNN. And it says hundreds of people had their homes foreclosed on after software used by Wells Fargo incorrectly denied them mortgage modifications. So think about this. Hundreds of people had their houses foreclosed on simply because of a bad, you know, bug in software or a glitch, right? Well, when you talk about distributed ledger technology, things like this will not happen. So when you talk about things that blockchain can actually solve, when we talk about supply chain logistics and management, when we talk about voting, when we talk about things like what's going on in China and making sure that the vaccines are coming from reputable sources, or when we're dealing with situations like this, we wouldn't have software glitching out and we wouldn't have to deal. Now think about all the paperwork that has to think about what these people are going through right now. I mean, this is all could have been avoided, right? And the other thing too is when you really think about it, you're looking at blockchain, you're looking at decentralization, and when you see these projects like Substratum or NKN or really any of these, you know, you have the Neo operating system, you're seeing things like this happen in Bangladesh where you're having peaceful protesters be murdered, and then you have the government, they've choked the internet to 1.28 kilobytes per second, and Facebook and YouTube live streams are being censored, right? So censorship is an issue too. We see the Great Firewall in China. People have to use VPNs, you know? This is not right. People need to have access to information. Data is like the oil of the future, you know? Like data is what keeps everything running, and it's so important, and we're in such a fast-paced society now that having things like this is just totally unfortunate. And for people that think crypto's dead, Bitcoin's dead, you know, it's not, whatever, look at this hash rate right here, guys. The Bitcoin hash rate has officially risen to 52 quintillion, okay? So to put that into perspective, basically, some say these calculations take as much energy as all of Austria or Belgium, whereas just a few years ago, it was only around the same amount of, you know, Iceland. So yes, this does talk about wasted proof of work, but we have seen that these different mining facilities are looking to go green, they're looking solar, they're looking hydro, okay? So there is so much moving forward in this space, okay? There is progress being made. We are impatient. We want everything yesterday. And the truth is that the internet took decades, okay? Credit cards, all these different things. They took a long time, guys. I mean, just when I was a kid, I was walking around with a tape player, my Sony Walkman, and, you know, now, I mean, I'm listening to things on Bluetooth headphones, walking down to the mailbox, getting my mail with my phone still in my house, listening to music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, right now, I'm on YouTube, and look what I'm doing. I mean, this is stuff you could have never done 2 decades decades ago when I was a kid. This was a dream of having a touchscreen phone, you know? So I know I'm rambling a bit, but it does take time to adopt. And I think that we get really, really impatient, and it's frustrating because we're all taking risks here. Everybody watching right now, we are involved in something that is arguably one of the largest experiments in our modern times. And we're right front and center. So it is only expected that we're going to see price swings. We're going to see people, the naysayers, you know, the non-believers. You're going to have the diehard activists, you know, the anarchists and all that other stuff. So it's definitely very, very new, but it's very, very exciting. And it's because of that I know you keep coming back and I keep doing what I do every single day. Now, let's get off the whole, you know, that sentiment. Let's talk about what's going on. So I wanted to talk real quick about anybody. So it says Ledger to reimburse users affected by Ethereum Chrome app bug. Here's how to submit your claim. So apparently what happened was the bug was discovered in the update of 1.30 of the Ledger Wallet Ethereum Chrome app that was rolled out last Thursday. It caused a static recipient address to all users instead of the actual recipient's address. As a result, many wallet users found that their Ethereum Classic, and some ERC20 tokens transactions never arrived at their intended destinations. I can only imagine how much this probably has freaked out some of you or whoever this happened to. Imagine if it was like a big, large sum of money too. So they do say that they're going to compensate everyone. They say if you want, go to the Ledger support page, select something went wrong with my Ethereum Chrome app from the drop-down field, complete the form, and they will reimburse you any money that you lost. So that's really good. Good on you, Ledger. You know, it sucks when things like this happen, but that's how you get on it and that's how you make it right. Also, real quick, congratulations to Wyoming. Coinbase has officially resumed services after their license renewal. So to everyone in Wyoming, you can now buy crypto using Coinbase again. Yeah, you know, you're going to have to pay your fees, but at least the option stands, right? So guys, let's talk about this. How random is this? Listen to this. So there is this company, right? They're called dYdX. And it says one of the points that make them stand out is that they offer a trading option that is so far unusual for the markets. The team behind this platform have created a token which variation is inversely proportional to that of Ethereum. What? This is crazy. So check this out. The idea is that you buy the short Ethereum token with Ethereum or a stablecoin from an exchange or dYdX. The short Ethereum's token's price is inversely pegged to Ethereum. So it goes up in value when Ethereum goes down and vice versa. You can then sell the short Ethereum token for a profit if you correctly predict an Ethereum price drop. dYdX allows traders to execute derivatives operations under the security of a decentralized platform based on the 0x protocol. This is a crucial difference from other options that require traders to deposit funds under the control of third parties, exposing their money to hacking or uncontrolled errors. So Mr. Giuliano commented that he is confident not only in the success of the short Ethereum token, but also in the dYdX platform in general. So maybe we'll be hearing more about these guys soon. Possibly. That's a very, very, very interesting concept, I must say. Also, guys, just throwing out some, getting into some coin news real quick. So you have Neo for Beginners highlighting that you had Eric Zhang interview on the Chain Show, which is a totally Chinese show. So obviously, if you want, you can click here and watch the actual show, but it's all in Chinese. So this basically breaks down some of the key points. It's pretty short. It's a pretty quick read. So I'll definitely drop that below as well. Also wanted to talk about Oyster protocol. So they have their Webnode demo up right now. This just went up, I believe, this morning. Or, let me see. I think it went up late last night. But anyway, so basically if you guys want, if you're interested, you can have a look through here and see how that demo works, if that's something of interest for you. We also have more news coming out of Vechain. So they've announced a partnership with NTT Docomo, the biggest mobile phone network provider in Japan. The partnership will see the pairing of NTT Docomo and the Vechain Thor project. More partnerships out of Vechain. I mean, I almost start to think, like, should I even report these partnerships anymore? I mean, Vechain just smashing it. That's just what they do. They do partnerships. Also, guys, I wanted to show you the other day I spoke about Dope Raider. So I thought this was cool because you've seen so much about these blockchain games lately. Now, these games, they're not, like, super impressive as far as graphics that you could get on like an Xbox One or a PS4 or something like that. But they're not that bad. They remind me of like old computer games. So this is obviously on the POA network. So, I mean, there you go, guys. Blockchain games. I mean, it's happening. It's happening. So, also, I wanted to talk about Komodo. So, it says tomorrow, our first Monday AMA goes live at 12 noon UTC. However, at the time of making this video, it's going live any moment. So, it might even be live by the time this video comes out. So, definitely, if you guys want, head on over, check it out. I'll leave this link if you want to ask Komodo any questions you guys have. We also have Deepcloud AI, so they've put their MVP preview video up, right? So if you want, you can come watch that over here. So this is their demo MVP video. Obviously it's a little technical. For me, it's technical, but if you guys are interested. And the other thing too is they've also showcased a few apps. So they have a webcam, Pac-Man, fortune cookie dApp, and monitoring dashboard. So I haven't actually looked into this specifically. I have to use my web. Yeah. So, all right, I'm not going to do this live right now. But, yeah, if you guys want, you can essentially play Pac-Man. All right. And then also I wanted to talk about, so there is this class action lawsuit that's being started by a student in Boston, Massachusetts, after being given, so you've heard a lot of people complaining about HitBTC, many reasons. One being the deposit fee, which is insane. You've seen John McAfee come out and he had his words to say about it. And now you're having people getting pissed off about accounts being frozen, constantly being hit with the KYC question over and over again. So this person says, that's why I'm posting here to see if there's anyone interested in joining the endeavor. For those interested, please send him an email. So he says, just to be clear, this is going to be expensive, but in return, given enough resources, this is a straightforward case given the mountain of evidence. In particular, I showed my lawyer the terms of service, which HitBTC uses to freeze funds. He told me that clause is clearly illegal. They are entitled to do KYC and suspend service, but that does not entitle them to steal your funds. Okay, so if this is something that you're interested in and you want to get involved in this, I'll leave the link below. I mean, I just stopped using HitBTC. I just don't use it anymore, personally. But if you've used it and they've frozen your account, or you think they've done something that's illegal or wrong, this guy's starting a lawsuit, class action lawsuit. So real quick, adoption, just want to say, so you have massive German stock exchange announcing the creation of a cryptocurrency trading infrastructure. So, I mean, it's just more news, more adoption. I don't really have to go into this. It's pretty straightforward. And one final note, this really doesn't have anything to do with crypto, but you've obviously seen what's been going on in Venezuela. We've been talking about how cryptocurrencies such as Nano, Digibyte, really anything at this point is better than the Petro. So turns out they actually had some kind of a drone attack the other day or something like that. So I don't know if it was actually supposed to be an assassination, if it was just a scare tactic, just a bunch of kids having fun, blowing up some drones. No, I don't know. So basically, you can see right here, that's where everybody, I don't know if you guys can see that. So that's where everybody kind of got startled. You can see them kind of look up, and then look, they all start running away. So that was crazy. But anyway, guys, ending the video today. That really didn't have anything to do with crypto, but it does show you how people are pissed, okay? Obviously, the governments need to get their acts together, okay? So this was seen in Washington, D.C. Metro. I converted my IRA to Bitcoin, so that's just more things. People are passing it. They're seeing these. They're walking by. And also, before we go, somebody has made this art. Apparently, this is a graph of Fcoin trading platform, and it looks like this is a crypto called ARP, A-R-P, which I've never heard of before. I don't know if this is real. I've never seen it. It's not on CoinMarketCap. However, to those of you who unfortunately did not sell your ARP up here, RIP, and better luck next time. I don't know. Also, guys, I almost totally forgot to mention it, but Crypto J, happy birthday, buddy. Thank you so much. To everybody who doesn't know Crypto J, we met at NAC3 in New York, and we got to talking, kind of had a lot of the same views on things, and that's why he's been the admin in my Telegram group. If you guys haven't joined the group, you can definitely get in below. But yeah, Crypto J, happy birthday, which also reminds me, as far as what people were telling me in the Telegram yesterday, so there was another impersonator, again, on my YouTube account. So guys, listen, I just got to say this. I hate that I have to say this once a week, but I do not do ETH giveaways, so anybody pretending to be me, do not send them money because that is not me. These guys are getting really clever lately. Not only did they post under my pinned comment, but then a bunch of other fake accounts commented underneath that account saying, yeah, totally got my ETH, this works, thanks K-Dub. So now they're like really making this an elaborate scheme. So don't listen to that, guys. So I'll never do an ETH giveaway. And if you're a project and if you're an ICO, I don't do sponsored content. So if you ever have somebody pretending to be me reaching out telling you that I do paid services, I don't. So I know I hate saying that but I have to, because literally somebody told me that they almost sent ETH, so somebody would have got scammed, and I don't want that happening on my channel. So yeah, definitely do not send ETH to scammers. So that being said, guys, I want to say thank you so much for coming back to my channel. You guys are amazing. It's Monday, back on the grind. Tonight, we have the episode you've all been waiting for of Token Tank with Ontology. June Lee will be in the hot seat. That is dropping tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on my channel. So if you guys want to check that out, you guys had a lot of questions. I asked those questions for you, so check it out tonight. June Lee in the hot seat, Token Tank. See you there. That being said, guys, thank you so much to everybody who's been liking, subscribing, and commenting. You guys are awesome. I love you. You're the reason I do this every single day. That being said, my name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.